Well, with the Uttarakhand government moving ahead with the Uniform Civil Code, a lot of chatter in Karnataka about whether it can be implemented here, what will be the challenges, especially in states having bigger minority population, having caste groups and tribal groups having their own set of practices, whether it's marriage, inheritance, and various other personal aspects. To talk about it, we have a lawyer and a law student as well, Mr. S. Ahmed, sir. How would you view this, sir? The kind of challenges that will come up in states having, as I said, a very diversity, a lot of diversity in population and practices as well.
See, primarily it is not something to do just with the states or the entire country as a whole. What we should understand is, first of all, we should define what UCC is. Basically, UCC is going to end up being a gross violation of Article 25 and 26 of the Indian Constitution. So, when there's something which is not going to be in accordance with the Constitution, obviously it's going to face a lot of hurdles. That is even technically and legally. Okay. And now coming to the cultural part of it. Although many people today think that one particular community, and to name it, they think the Muslim community is going to be targeted, and that's how everybody, the moment you say UCC, people have started linking it to a particular community. Whereas, no, it's going to actually affect all communities. Because see, India is a very, very different country. We have diverse cultures. Okay, and even the Hindus themselves, they are basically, they have a very rich culture and they have their own practices, they have their own set of laws, they have their own, traditions. Okay, today to bring in something new and tell them that all what you all were doing is going to, it's going to have no legal, sanctity anymore, and you're going to follow something that is going to be commonly implemented for all. And what is that common law? What is that common law? Is it going to be as just as the other laws? Do we have any platform to compare? Have we ever had debates between the two laws? No. It is something generic, but the intention is what matters. As of now, no matter where you go, people are looking at it as if it's going to target the Muslim community. No, it isn't. No. The Muslim community is only at 20% population in this country. And it's not going to affect Muslims in any way, because true Muslim is in any case going to follow his the Islamic law, his Shariat law, in all his personal matters. And he or she will never take that matter to a court of law or to any panel where, law is going to be administered against the principles of Islam. And so it's really not going to affect that 20%. Out of those Muslims, only those who are not happy with the Islamic laws, and how can they be Muslims? So it is not going to affect the Muslims. Okay, but it's going to affect the other 80% population. It's going to simply kill all their culture, their laws, their practices. And when something is against the Constitution, is nothing wrong in calling it illegal. And something illegal can never be implemented because it is highly impractical in a country like India.
Yeah.
And don't compare it to any other country or any other society. India is diverse. India is something, it's got a very rich culture, and each one respects the other's the culture of the other communities. And we have never had a problem with that till today.
Yeah, implementation is going to be a challenge. Sarah, what's the discussion among youngsters, your friends group, your colleagues and others? A lot of talk about some of these aspects of UCC, for example, what's being mentioned in Uttarakhand, in a way invading on the privacy of individuals. So what's the chatter among the youngsters?
So when I got to know about UCC and when I went through it, all I understood is UCC is going to clearly trespass into all personal principles, practices, cultures, and all laws of all communities. Also, I would say that UCC is going to be an infringement. So UCC is going to be an infringement into the fundamental rights of all communities. And regarding my discussions with my friends or people around, I would say that most of them talk without knowledge. And for the ones I have discussions with, I feel the discussions turn political. And somehow in the end, it turns into whether supporting or not supporting BJP. And if for all those who think that UCC is going to target Muslims, then no, that's wrong. It's going to adversely affect all the communities. And yeah.
And also on the point of women empowerment, right? BJP said we ensure triple talaq is taken out. That was one form of women empowerment. Now they are saying when a UCC is brought in, whether it's in inheritance or separation in a marriage, women get their due share. How would you view it?
See, about UCC and empowerment, I would say, why do we need UCC for for women empowerment? We, as all of us know, that we had a very powerful women prime minister, and regarding anything to do with women empowerment, why do we need UCC?
So this is going to be a challenge because if you look at what Uttarakhand is suggesting, they are saying we'll ask live-in couples to register and saying we'll give you 1 month's time. Do you think implementing something of this nature would be a challenge? Second, also invade on the privacy of individuals.
I think those, the major population here is Hindus. And if you know that, see, Hindus have also, they have a very rich culture, okay? And the moment you say come and legalize an illegal relationship, you think people are going to accept it? Forget the Muslim community. The Hindu community is going to stand against it. And what are we trying to, we are trying to dilute this rich culture of India? Forget, let's not be communal. India's had such a rich culture, and we've been, and the world knows us for that. You want to kill the, see, when you say Hindu, don't just talk about, a particular community. It refers to the people of this entire land. And you want to bring in a lot to kill the Indian culture, to kill the Hindu culture, to kill the rich culture of India. You want to demolish the, the moral, values that Bharat has held till today. I mean, what damage are you trying to do? Why don't you define it?
Yeah. Well, several of these questions indicating the kind of challenges that the government will face if UCC at any point in time is brought in some of the states that have such a huge population with a lot of diverse background. Well, the other aspect of UCC that has been discussed widely is what it does in terms of inheritance, or even when there is a separation, the rights of women. We have Zainab with us. One of the main argument was that UCC will ensure that women get their rights in inheritance of property, or even when there is a separation in marriage. How would you view it, ma'am?
No, I think I'm quite satisfied with our own personal laws, because they have their own explanation, which is very, very practical and sensible. Okay, I think if UCC comes in, it will be hurting the sentiments, the religious sentiments of people, mainly the Islamic laws, because the Islamic laws are very different, and it will not be easy for us to just accept a change. Okay, it might even bring injustice to the people, because the way we have understood it, there's absolute justice in whatever laws have already been prescribed in Islam, whether it is inheritance or a separation, a divorce for that matter. Actually, if you go through the right method of a divorce also, it's very, very practically and well said in our religion. I know it's misunderstood by many people, and it is even misused. Okay, probably that's why people just want to abolish that law and bring in something else. But if you go deep down and actually see the rightful way of going through a divorce, it's absolutely practical. Okay, it gives you enough and more time to be sure that you don't want to go ahead with the relationship. Actually, that at one instant giving a divorce, it is very wrongly understood. Okay, and now, I mean, I don't believe in UCC, because it will definitely be hurting our sentiments and the sentiments of most people, and it is not going to be easy for everyone to just change the laws and start following something else, because we've been following all this from centuries. It's age old. Okay, so I don't know, I'm not very much in favor of UCC. I think it's better, like, each one is allowed to follow their own way of accepting their laws and following the principles. So even as far as inheritance is concerned, it's very, very practical. Like, if you understand it rightly, like the boy getting 2 shares and the girl gets 1 share. And as you know, the man is the supporter of the family, actually. We don't see the lady as the supporter or the person who's responsible for bringing in income for the family. It's mainly the man. So I think it's quite rightfully said that the boy gets 2 shares and the girl gets 1 share. I really will not support a change in this.
So, how do you see the whole inheritance aspect changing? Because, as she said, existing laws says that the boy gets 2 share, the girl gets 1 share. How would you see it changing, sir? Once UCC comes in, how will it impact?
First of all, if the law of inheritance is completely clear under the Mohammedan law that a son gets 2 shares, daughter gets 1 share, which is once if a daughter gets 1 share, she acquires the another 2 share rights from her husband. Likewise, the boy acquires 2% of the 2 shares, and through his wife he gets 1 share. That is equal. It is an equal share. So we have been following the principles of Mohammedan law, which has been made out centuries ago. Basic sentiments of the principle. Even the God has made it clear. I am there to take care of you. Property should be divided equally. That's how I say. But if the UCC comes, UCC is nothing but Uniform Civil Code. It's only basically to implement the act for the purpose of your election purpose. This is not the right time nor the right law to implement this, because Constitution permits us. We have a fundamental rights, which have a right to for speech, right for freedom, right for everything, which is given in the Constitution. We have to follow that. This UCC will not help in any way to any people, particularly to Mohammedans, because there in Mohammedan there are 2 castes. One is Sunni and one is Shia. Shia has a different law. Sunni has a different law, but the tenements, what Sunni follows is through directly from the Prophet Muhammad, what is being told to him, because what he has said we are practicing, that's it.
As he said, practice is something that has been done for years. Now, do you believe it's difficult implementing this because there are people who have followed it for a number of decades?
Definitely. It's going to be very difficult. It's not going to be easy for anyone to follow such a big change and suddenly start accepting laws in a very different way, or start doing things which they have not been doing for years together. Now, suddenly to follow a different law is going to be very difficult, and I don't think it's going to be very peaceful either. There are going to be a lot of controversies. There will be lots of allegations, controversies, everything. It's not going to be a peaceful move at all.
Yeah.
So I really don't support UCC.
Yeah. There you go. That's the opinion from the community here, saying that there are aspects which relates to their personal space, something that they've believed for a number of years and decades, and changing that overnight is something that will see resistance, and as she said, it's not something that can be implemented very easily. There will be resistance, there will be also a lot of controversy. In Bengaluru, with camera person Riaz, Harish Upadhyaya.